Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named The Voice on the Other Side, a call from the future. This story is full of twists and suspense, and trust me, it will leave you amazed. So, let's start. It was a cold, rainy evening in late November when Michael found himself alone at home, sipping coffee by the living room window. The wind howled outside, rattling the glass, and the dim light from the lamp barely lit the room. Michael wasn't expecting any calls that night, but life has a way of surprising us in the most unexpected ways. His phone rang. He glanced at it, frowning. It was an unknown number. He hesitated for a second but picked it up. "Hello," he said. There was silence on the other end for a moment, then a deep breath. "Michael," said the voice, a voice that sent chills down his spine. It sounded oddly familiar, yet older, worn out, almost his own voice. "Who is this?" Michael asked, his voice uneasy. "I don't have time to explain everything," the voice said urgently. "I'm you. I'm calling from the future. You need to listen carefully. Something terrible is about to happen. You must not leave your house tonight. No matter what." Michael froze. His heart raced. "Is this some kind of joke?" "No," the voice said firmly. "Please, trust me. If you leave the house tonight, it will change everything, for the worse." The line went dead. Michael stood there in stunned silence. A prank? A mistake? Or something much darker? He couldn't shake the feeling that the voice was telling the truth. His gut twisted with unease. Moments later, his phone rang again. This time, it was his best friend, Liam. "Hey, Michael." Liam's cheerful voice filled the line. "Come on, man. We're waiting for you. The party's already started." Michael's mind reeled. Should he go? His future self had warned him to stay put. But it was just a phone call, right? Nothing bad would happen. Maybe it was paranoia. I'm not feeling well," Michael said hesitantly. "Oh, come on." Liam laughed. "Don't be boring. You'll regret missing this. Trust me." Michael bit his lip. Maybe it was all in his head. He grabbed his coat and decided to ignore the warning. As he stepped outside, the cold air hit him like a slap. The streets were quiet, the occasional streetlight flickering ominously. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He quickened his pace, every shadow seeming to grow longer, every noise amplified. Halfway down the block, his phone rang again. His heart nearly stopped. He answered with trembling fingers. "I told you not to leave," said the voice, his future self, angrily. "Now you've made the worst mistake of your life." Before Michael could respond, the line went dead again. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the street ahead. He saw a car speeding towards him, its headlights blinding in the darkness. Michael barely had time to jump out of the way, his body slamming hard onto the pavement. The car screeched to a halt, and two men jumped out, their faces hidden under hoods. "Get him," one of them shouted. Michael's mind screamed run. He bolted down the street, adrenaline pumping through his veins. His lungs burned, and his legs felt like they would give out, but he kept running, twisting through alleyways, trying to lose them. He could hear their footsteps behind him, closing in. He darted into an abandoned building, his chest heaving. He pressed himself against the wall, trying to steady his breath, his pulse thudding in his ears. His phone buzzed again. He answered, barely able to whisper. "They're after me," he said, his voice trembling. "What do I do?" "I tried to warn you," said the voice on the other side. "Now you're in their trap. There's only one way out, but it's risky." Michael's eyes darted around the dark building. "Tell me what to do." "Go to the 3rd floor. There's a window at the end of the hallway. Jump." "What? Are you insane?" "Trust me," the voice insisted. "It's the only way." Michael had no choice. He could hear the footsteps getting closer. He sprinted up the stairs, his mind screaming in panic. The hallway stretched out before him like a tunnel, dark and endless. At the far end, he saw the window. He ran toward it, the sound of his pursuers echoing in the stairwell. Without thinking, he threw himself through the window. Glass shattered around him as he fell. For a split second, he felt weightless, the world spinning in slow motion. He hit the ground hard, pain shooting through his body. Gasping for air, he tried to stand but collapsed again. Sirens wailed in the distance. The men chasing him cursed and disappeared into the night. Michael lay there, dazed and bleeding, as the paramedics arrived. The last thing he saw before losing consciousness was his phone, still clutched in his hand. When he woke up in the hospital, the events of the night played over and over in his mind. Had he really spoken to his future self? Had he just survived because of that mysterious phone call? His phone sat on the bedside table. He picked it up with trembling hands, scrolling through his call history. The calls from the unknown number were gone. No record of them. No proof. But Michael knew what he had heard. And he knew one thing for certain, he would never ignore a warning from the future again. So, my friends, that was the story of the voice on the other side. If you ever get a strange call, pay close attention, you never know when it might save your life. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay safe. Let me know if you want to tweak the length, tone, or add more twists.